So, you want to main Orianna. Well, do you like ballerinas? Do you like clockwork? Do you like robots? Do you like playing with Big Ball? And do you like making the ticking stop? Then Orianna, the Lady of Clockwork, is for you.
Now this guy's flicking actual brain words. Oh my god.
Hey! Oh shit, I'm dead. Shield!
You still shred towers, though.
Alright, I'm backing the fuck off. Oh, that was scary. For sure I was dead there. Orianna's lore is that she used to be a real girl that lived in Piltover with her father, a scientist by the name of Corin Revek, who was known throughout the city as a master craftsman of clockwork limbs for prosthetics. Orianna always wanted to venture out into the world, but her father feared for her safety and forbade her from leaving her neighborhood. Instead, she built mechanical clockwork ballerinas to entertain herself. One day, a big explosion in one of the chemical lines of Zon caused many people to get sick, and against her father's wishes, she ventured down into Zon to help the people that were affected. She spent many nights preparing rebreather masks, respirators, and installed isofilters to help reduce the toxic fumes in the air. However, she gave her own mask to a child who could barely breathe, but that soon proved to be a deadly action. Soon after she returned to her home, she fell very ill, and her father decided to try to help her destroyed lungs by creating a fully functioning set of artificial lungs. He even performed the surgery himself. The lungs were wound with a special key he kept in his safe to keep her from wandering again. But it wasn't enough. The poison kept spreading, and piece by piece she had more body parts replaced until the only human part of her left was her heart. As her father aged, he started having chest problems to the point that he could not work anymore, and Orianna provided for him by selling the clockwork ballerinas she was so good at making. But one day she realized she needed to do something to help him or he would die. So she bought a Hextech crystal from a chem baron and implanted it into herself to keep her alive, as she removed her own heart and replaced her father's heart with her own while he was asleep. Once she had finished, she left the workshop after using her floating ball to weld her key to her back, and ventured out to find a place in the world where she might fit in. Oh man, I'm sorry that lore was so long, but I shorthanded as much as I could. Essentially, she's a tragic reverse Pinocchio, a girl who was a human forced into becoming clockwork, or she would die. And during the process, she also lost all sense of humanity, which is pretty dark. In-game, Orianna is a standard mage with a not-so-standard playstyle. She relies on her ball to do damage, and she merely directs it. She can also be pretty slippery in the right hands, as one of the best team fight ults in the entire game. Orianna's passive is in two parts. The first is Big Robot Ball. Her ball is the main source of her attacks and stays attached to her unless she moves it. It also incurs a 0.15 second cooldown for all of her abilities between casts. She can also pick the ball back up by running into it. The ball will automatically attach to her if she's too far away, and when it does, it incurs a 0.5 second cooldown on all of her abilities. The second part is you, in particular. Orianna's attacks give her a stack, which lets her do extra magic damage. Up to 2 stacks that let her do extra magic damage based on level, plus 15% of her AP, then 21% of her AP. She loses the stacks upon attacking a different enemy, and here's some stack attack math. Orianna's passive is essentially her ball, and it stays near her and will reattach to her if she's too far away. The cooldown incurred on her abilities is barely noticeable, so don't worry about it too much. Also, people always seem to forget the second part of her passive exists, which lets her do more damage the more she attacks when target, which is pretty cool. Orianna's Q is Ball to Your Face. She commands the ball to move wherever the cursor is, and it does magic damage plus 50% of your AP to all enemies hit, doing 70% less damage to enemies that are not the first one hit. And wow, that was quick! Orianna's Q is pretty simple, but extremely versatile and has a pretty nice range. You just move the ball wherever you want, and anyone that gets hit takes damage, but the first one hit takes 70% more damage, kind of like a Caitlyn Q. Orianna's W is those static electricity ball toys that make your hair stand up. Her ball releases an electric pulse that creates a small field for 3 seconds. The initial pulse does magic damage plus 70% of her AP. The field left behind speeds up her allies and slows enemies by the same amount. The speed slow scales with level, and here's some zappy zap math. Orianna's W is one of her main damage tools along with her Q. The added speed to allies and slow to enemies means she can also get out of a fight faster if she needs to, or maybe get her team into a fight faster. Orianna's E is the Sonic the Hedgehog Bubble Shield. Passively, the ball grants bonus armor and MR to the unit it's attached to. She commands her ball to attach to herself or an ally. When it attaches, the one that received the ball gains a shield based on 45% of her AP. The ball also does damage to enemies it hits on the way like her Q, and here's some protective math. Her E is what allows her to tank damage that she otherwise might have died from, and is also super great at blocking Ignite or any type of damage over time. She can also attach it to allies in a fight, which can potentially save them as well. You can use this to go support Orianna, but I wouldn't recommend it. Finally, we have her ultimate, which is Who Said You Could Leave? Orianna's ball releases a shockwave that deals magic damage plus 90% of her AP, stuns any enemies caught in it for 0.75 seconds, and pulls them to the ball, but can't pull them through terrain, and here's some Orisa Orb math. Ori's ult is what gives her a big teamfight presence. She at any point can send her ball into a teamfight and make a big shockwave that can do an incredible amount of damage, all while moving positions and generally messing things up for her opponents. Skill max, go QWE. Q first because it's the most versatile, and you need to be able to move your ball around at a moment's notice. W next because its damage is big and the speed and slower are great, and E last because it's a utility spell. Levels 1 through 3 also mimic the skill max. But how do I play Orianna?
Oh, I'm not gonna die. Where's Chica? I still haven't found Chica. Wind.
Early game, you actually have a fair amount of poke with your ball. With your ability to move it anywhere, you can essentially poke your opponent at any point to keep them away from you while you farm. But those that can dive you level 1 probably try to do so play it safe. Farm the wave safely, and once you get to level 2, you should be a bit safer, as then you'll have your W to slow your laner and keep them away from you should they dive you. If a fight breaks out in the river or just nearby in the jungle and you have E, try to see if you can assist your teammates in said fight, because that extra shield and resistances might be the deciding factor in your teammate winning the fight or losing. Mid-game, you'll have pretty good damage that can hurt your laner pretty bad. Just be careful of surprise attacks from diving champs like Hecarim and Evelynn. Make sure you ward whatever area you're going to be in, or ask your support to help you. Roam to farm up kills and get your team ahead. And don't be afraid to pop your ult to nuke someone and stand in with your W, your ult has a pretty short cooldown. You can also use it to trap someone under tower like you would an Urgot E or a Blitzcrank Q. Your ball can also be used to gain vision in a bush, which can mean the difference between you escaping or getting caught out. Late game, if you didn't feed and have a decent amount of items, you'll be hard pressed to not work in big damage during team fights. Don't forget to weave some auto attacks into your combos so you can get some extra damage in. Her autos are affected by her passive as well, meaning they do extra damage. Use your ult when the enemy team is clumped together to not only mess up their pathing and abilities, but also to give your team a chance to hit them with some abilities they may have, like a Pantheon Spear or a Sejuani Q. You can also use your ult to keep fleeing enemies from running away. You throw your ball at them, hit W when the ball hits them to slow them down, then ult to keep them there for a short period so you and your team can catch up. Just be warned that you still have the tankiness of a wet paper towel, so play safe while you damage from a distance. For runes, typically most Orianna players go summon an Aerie for the extra shield on her E, but I actually like to go Phase Rush because hitting an enemy champ with all of your basic abilities once in a combo, hit them with Q, W to damage them and slow them, and E to hit them and shield yourself, you'll trigger it right then and there, giving you a burst of movement speed and extra tankiness from your E to help you dodge and or tank whatever's being thrown at you. Phase Rush in tandem with your W can actually help you put a lot of distance between you and the enemy team. I've had games where the entire team has chased me, but the combination of my W and Phase Rush made me so fast that they weren't able to catch up to me. Here's the runes I take for Orianna. Like I said, Summon Aerie is more common, but I generally find Phase Rush to be more helpful. For some, Flash and Teleport are pretty standard. I'd only take Ignite into lanes where I really need that combat edge, or against a champ that has a lot of lifesteal / healing. For items, typically any AP item is going to be helpful in Orianna, so go ahead and experiment. My usual item build is Luden's, Seraph's Embrace, Shadow Flame, and Sorc Shoes, with the rest being whatever AP items end up helping me the most in that game. But Crown of the Shadow Queen is also not too bad if you want to have extra survivability as a trade-off for losing a bit of damage. For Orianna counters, I'd go with Victor, Kassadin, and Malphite. Victor, because he hits much harder and scales much harder in the late game, plus your W speed boost doesn't help you escape his slow. Kassadin, because, well, he's the mage counter, and he can completely avoid your ball if they know how to use R. And Malphite, because he steals your speed, and its ultimate is impossible to avoid because you don't know when it's coming, and he can easily one-shot you with just one item. Champs that work well with Orianna are the ones that can take advantage of her CC and shielding of her allies. Champs like Caitlyn, Evelynn, and Master E are some good examples, since they depend on being able to attack the enemy without interference, and are generally pretty squishy, Master E lifesteal notwithstanding. The skins we have for Orianna are Pale Orianna, Gimmick Puppet Orianna, Stephanie from Lazy Town Orianna, Defying Physics Orianna, Ugg Boots and Pumpkin Spice Latte Orianna, Robots Feel Love 2 Orianna, Aurelian Soul-Sized Orianna, Crystal Hair Orianna, Wave Pool Orianna, and the most adorable Orianna skin ever. I will fight you in this, and if you disagree, you are objectively wrong. So let's wrap up Orianna. She's a mage with an interesting playstyle, able to play keep away with her enemies, doing lots of damage and also being able to assist her teammates in fights whenever she needs to. She's a pretty difficult champion to master, but once you get the hang of her, it's so rewarding to play. Before I go, here are the usual Orianna clips. Enjoy.
What's good?
That Lilia speed boost is really something, ain't it?
Uh-oh.
Canceling my autos.
Oh, hi, Samira.
You know how much it hurts me to cancel, miss my E, bro?
I don't know, I just like, they changed how our E works way back. I'm used to old Irelia as to do. Like,
Okay,
not
I
the
popped
new
the shield bow. Boink! Oh, Lee Sin's after me. Oh, fuck, I'm out. I am outie. Holy shit, no! No. I soloed a 4-2 Samira, by the way. By myself.
And that ASOL is crazy. I mean, he looks scary, but like, he doesn't have any CC besides like Wolf, right? His cat can still engage on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see
Oh,
just, like,
fuck,
how
he
good
ignited
is
me.
there.
I'm dead. Oh, I barely lived. I barely lived. I had 10 health.
I'm quite literally the best Lilia NA. No smite, but we can do this.
What's your mastery on her?
Still on 4.
You peasant! Amateur! Get M7 on her, then we'll talk.
Let's get... Bro, I lost a plate because this little fucking dude, he probably gets, I don't know, gets pants at school. Oh.
That's even funnier because there's the almost prom king
That
skin.
hit me? No way.
Yeah, that's why he plays a Mumu.
Not today, Malzahar. Yeah, motherfucker.
I hate this game.
just that cutoff. So good. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If this guide got you to Challenger, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more League content coming in the future, as well as general gaming content, and also ring that bell so you get notified when the new videos go live. Also, be sure to check out my Discord server link in the description, where you can talk to me and other members of the community, and maybe even suggest the next So You Want the main video. Just keep it to chance Bricky hasn't done, as that's what I'm trying to stick to. Well, everyone, my name is Andriller, and don't fuck up my solo queue. Bye-bye.